Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Oh, man, it is always nice to start out a review with a little Rage Against the Machine in your ears. So, yeah, Simgot EA1000 Fermat's Last Theorem. That's a story. I was going to go through it, but it's just too long and complicated. Suffice it to say, it's a mathematical equation that took, let's see, 1600, 1900, yeah, like over 300 years to solve. Interesting. Anyway, it's pretty cool they named it after that, though, because it's like some sort of elevation kind of equation, best I can sort of determine. And ended up being quite useful in 1995, I think, is when they finally solved it. Andrew Wiles, I believe, was the person, and then there have been iterations beyond that, but this math is really far beyond my comprehension, so that's all you're going to get out of me. Cool name, though, for sure. On the unbox, unlike other Simgot models, this is actually an unboxing experience, which is pretty cool. Not to knock on too much. They keep it pretty simple. And in this case, it's simple, but it's nice. Like it feels kind of premium. Everything has its own spot. The paperwork here in the fold-out cover, which does come out like that. So I'm going to take that out so I can actually get the other pieces out. IMs, of course, were here. Under that, one box of accessories. That was where the ear tips were, I believe. Why am I getting a rain notification? Let's just turn that off. There we go. So yes, storage case was here. There's your storage case. Nice one. Nice one. Yeah, this is a $200-ish IEM, so you would hope that the unboxing and the accessories would be a little bit nicer than average, and they are. They are. So that met expectations. Unlike the Super Mix 4, God, I wish that just had better accessories and ear tips. Really nice ear tips here. So you've got like I don't know, they're barely different in bore width. I didn't use them. My funny years, I used Divinous Velvet for it. This particular set, and was very happy with the results using those tips. So there you go there. And then finally, and sort of most importantly, outside of the cable being nice too, this is your set of filters or nozzles. There's a gold filter and a black gasketed silver filter. I went with the red. I felt like it was the most balanced of the three, and so I didn't really do much testing on the other two. Although if you look at the back of the box, it does sort of give you an idea of what they're supposed to do. And I think they did. I didn't really see a huge difference between the three of them, but I just felt like the red was the most balanced, so that's the one that I went with. Liked it. I like it a lot. Anyway, let's see if we can get this stuff put back together. There we go. On your specifications, you have dual magnet, dual cavity, 10mm dynamic driver. This is a specific technology called sputter deposition purple gold diaphragm. So yeah, that's a mouthful. It's a single DD. It's a really good single DD. And finishing, well, I don't know. I still might do the Singolo, but I haven't decided yet. May not. Not sure. But this might be the last single D that we are doing for a bit, because we've been on a run. We've done 6 in the past 2 weeks or so. And yeah, the hybrids await. Hybrids, tribrids await. So, how did the EA1000 do in comparison to, let's say, like the last couple? Because these are easily better than the Medusa, of course. Definitely better than the Wyvern Abyss, although I do love that little set. And definitely a full step up from the Coffine Delcy. They should be. They're $200, right? Right. But, you know, my intention was this. So I knew once I had tested and rated, reviewed all the things to the Tantrum origin, I kind of felt like I knew that anything was going to be a step down, right? So I tried to break it up by doing the Hakujai Anunnaki. Anyway, it was more of a side grade than it was a step down. So, yeah. Anyway, not to put the cart before the horse, these are a very, very good set. I will go into some details for you on the Sonic impressions for sure. But of the final 3 single DD sets, these were probably the weakest link, you know? Still a really, really solid set. Speaking of solid, build quality is excellent. They are metal shelled. They have, like, I think this could very well be glass. If not, it's really nice plastic on the faceplate. You can sort of see, let's get some light for you, the Simgot insignia there, logo, on each faceplate. Really nice. Standard 2-pin connection. The cable is really nice too, honestly. Speaking of build quality and accessories, I ended up sticking with this. I'll tell you why now that I can finish with the specs. A little all over the place here, sorry guys. The specs on this are as follows. It is a 16 ohm resistance, 127 decibel sensitivity. There is no need at all for a 4.4 balanced cable on this. In fact, I tested it with a 4.4 and immediately went back to the 3.5 because the 4.4 doesn't give you much room to play with volume. It kind of goes from quiet to loud and then back to quiet. So you got more dynamic range or range of volume with the 3.5 stock cable. That would be my recommendation based on the sensitivity. Their frequency response is 10 hertz to 50 kilohertz, effectively being 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz for us, of course. And as I mentioned, the cable is a 2-pin 0.78 connection, terminating in a 3.5 millimeter single-ended. And it is a silver-plated, oxygen-free copper Litz structure cable. Really nice, actually. So, on the build, accessories, the cable, everything is right in line for a $200 set, I think. Like, I'm in no way whatsoever disappointed in what you get and the quality that it is. A couple sets of ear tips for once, thanks Simgot. And they feel nice. I just didn't use them. And yeah, I mean, just a really premium feel to everything, including the storage case. Really nice little pouch in there for a nugget. Just kidding. Whatever. I actually put the nozzles in there because I thought I was going to do some changing, but I ended up not doing very much. And then I'm not sure what you're putting in here, but I'm sure it will hold something. Like, it almost looks like if you had a modular cable, you could slide your different terminations in there. But really nice, really nice. So yeah, the sound on these is really excellent. You know, I don't feel like I could call it as special and unique as the Hakujai Anunnaki. I don't think I can call it as crystal clear, smooth, and detailed as the Tantrum Origin, but very good in their own right. One thing I noticed about them was that they've got like really good, clear, slightly cool mids. So I thought the mids were really good on this set. The bass is like fast and authoritative. It's not lacking. And that was obvious when I put I'm Dat on and Virginia Beach, you know, my usual test tracks, Desires, and the new one, Get It Sexy. Yeah, there was plenty of resonant bass. Not huge on the rumble, you know, there was some, not a lot. Listening to Agony by Slaughter to Prevail, those are, you know, my two big bass drops that I like to, you know, look at. I hope that's not shining in your face like it's shining in mine. There we go. Those drops were present, but not exactly fully rumbly in that respect. This set is a very correct sounding set. Like, it is technically, I think, a very capable set. I think it is a very user-friendly presentation. Like, I made the note of, it makes a good background set because it's effortless in its presentation. It doesn't seem like it's working very hard. You know, it just kind of seems like it's doing it. And it's pretty smooth, and it's not sibilant, and it's not, well, maybe a little bit fatiguing in the treble. It's, you know, after a couple hours, I think I was kind of like, yeah, I'm ready to listen to something else. But, you know, general, and that's probably partly because I listen to a lot of metal, and so there's like cymbal strikes and just a lot of activity in the ear gain and the mid and upper treble. So, yeah, different genres, your mileage may vary. I'm just gonna say it, you know, because I'm like, acronyms are driving me crazy because I'm old. Anyway, actually, I do like acronyms. They're pretty fun. YMMV, depending on your genres of choice. But yeah, I didn't find it overly fatiguing or too bright. I think it's a very balanced signature. It's classy. It's a classy IM. Everything about it, from the build quality to the cable to the case to the sound, everything about it is just very classy. Like, I don't have a problem with the price because I feel like it delivers very well. You know, I don't think it's necessarily like a market breaker or a market setter, but it's definitely, you know, up there. When I'm going to do a top 10 dynamic driver list on Sunday for y'all. It's the last day to enter the Science giveaway, so there's also sort of a, you know, couple of killing two birds with one stone sort of feel to it. And people asked, you know, to do a little tier list ranking for dynamic drivers since we've done so many recently. It will fare well on that list. You know, it's definitely going to be in the top 3 or 4 for sure. So I'm not going to give it away because that's for Sunday. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy with them. I really am. I think they sound just nice. This is just a nice sounding set. And that's not to say that it's boring, because it's not. You know, it's got good energy to it. It's got good presence to the bass. It plays just about everything really well. It has the ability to, like, clean things up, which is nice, especially in some of the heavier metal that I listen to. So if you're talking about like Brand of Sacrifice kind of busy going on, yeah, it's got good instrument separation. It can get pretty busy, pretty crowded in that ear gain to mid treble with Brand of Sacrifice. There's a lot going on, but these guys were able to decipher and present all of those different tracks and layers like very well. So they're capable. They're smooth. I don't know, you know, I really do like them. The problem is that they came after 2 absolute bangers. You know, like, I expected the Origin to be what it was, and then some. I really thought that throwing the Anunnaki in between these two sets was going to sort of be a good, like a refresher, like, wow, this is a good set, you know? It's not as good as the Origin, and probably won't be as good as the EA1000, but it'll be a good breakup. No, it ended up being, like, kind of mind-blowing, and that because it took another hit on the EA1000, because it was, after those two sets, just a little step down, you know, in excitement and technical prowess and immersion. You know, I mean, speaking of that, this is still an immersive set. It still has a nice soundstage to it. It's not going to necessarily blow you away, but it does have good detail retrieval. Like, I would say excellent detail retrieval. It's just not at the level of the Anunnaki or the Origin. But I don't think a heck of a lot is. At least not in the single dynamic driver space that we're in. You know, if you have a hybrid or tribrid or quadbrid set that leaves the, you know, the dynamic driver alone to do its thing, and then has the other things doing their things, and the crossovers are good or excellent, yeah, you know, those sets can probably outdo most single dynamic drivers in text and soundstage. In theory, right? The Origin almost killed that theory, and these are not too far behind, you know? I mean, I feel like I'm kind of downplaying this set a little bit, and I shouldn't, because it definitely gets a Bang's Audio Reviews recommendation. It doesn't get a highly recommended, but that's only because of what I've heard right before it. If I had listened to these just Bang on their own, if I'd maybe heard them a couple of months ago, or heard them even a couple of weeks ago before I heard the Origin and the Anunnaki, they probably get a highly recommended. This is just in context. In context, compared to the other two sets, they're still recommended. They're just not gonna blow you away. I don't think. I don't know, maybe they will. I don't know. If this is like your first $200 set, and everything you've listened to up to that, like the best one that you've heard might be like the EA500 LM, or not to, you know, knock on it, but like Keyfine Delcy, or, you know, something like a Starfield, or any number of things, right? Zero Red. Like, if you jumped into $200 and got these, you'd be like, holy fucking shit, this is a really good set. So, context, right? Context. There they are. Maybe the final dynamic driver in this run. Possibly I'm going to do the Singolo, although others are waiting. Hodor, Neo 3. I don't know how long I can wait to get into those, honestly. So, we shall see. But on Sunday, June 30th, 2024, I will do a video, top 10 dynamic drivers that I've personally experienced, and these will be on it. And they will be in the top 5 for sure. So, maybe top 3. We'll see. We'll see. I think that's going to do it. I feel like why do I feel like I'm shortchanging this set? It's really, really good. Didn't have any weak points in the genres. I don't know what else to say, you know? It just didn't excite me as much as the previous two sets did. And it's not their fault. That's just how it happened. Sometimes things happen that way. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up. I'm not going to just spend the next 5 minutes talking about nothing, unless maybe you want. No, you don't. Yeah, that's going to wrap it. As always, I love y'all. Nothing but peace to you. See you on Sunday.